Hello everyone, today we're going to be switching gears from real estate investing into the legal side of real estate. In today's episode we're going to be discussing how to remove people from deeds and address child support liens. Our discussion about child support liens will delve into 6 methods to have them removed. With that being said, let's kick off the episode. Excuse me. Hi, I'm Victor Moss, real estate attorney, broker, and investor, but no one really cares. What they care about is that I'm a problem solver. So that's what I do for a living, is solve problems. I'm going to show you to find deals you never even knew existed.
Deals are everywhere, but you got to get off your butt.
One deal is all it takes to change your life. Victor freaking Moss, that's right. The process of removing people from deeds, it's real simple. All you have to do is find an attorney who can do a deed. You have to get the person who's being removed to show up with a driver's license and be of sound mind. As long as they agree to remove themselves from the deed, it's not that difficult. We can do a special warranty deed with the legal description, them conveying it to whoever they want, signing it, notarizing it, recording the instrument in the county, and that's it. They are removed. Now there's other ways to also get people removed from title. For example, if they pass away. That's a big one we deal with quite often. So we often start with the history of the deceased. We do typically an affidavit of heirship in Texas if there is no will. If there is a will, you got to probate the process, but I'm going to pretend that there is no will, which is what most people die without, is a will. And so we do an affidavit of heirship. We need 2 witnesses. We need the heirs to sign off on it. Once we have everybody sign off all the factual information about the deceased, then we record the deed. At that point, the property goes to the heirs. From that point, if all the heirs want to give it to one person, let's just say, then they can also sign a deed. And it can be a simultaneous transaction. Another way to get somebody off a deed is you have to sue them. That's right, you have to sue them. And so we call that typically a suit for partition. The typical scenario is you do an affidavit of heirship, for example, and there's 4 heirs. Well, that one person won't cooperate. So you have to sue them, and it's called a suit for partition, where basically you force the sale of the property. It is a legal process. You have to go through the courts. It does take some time. You do try to have to serve them. If you can't serve them because they live out of the country, you might do a notice by publication, as long as there's been a real attempt and the court signs off on it. And basically you're suing that person through publication. They don't show up, too bad. But this way you can get them off the title. The court may require that you sell the property and put their portion with the court registry so that if that person ever shows up, they can get their money. So there's other ways to get people removed from deeds, but those are the big ones. Child support liens, and basically a lot of judgments and other type liens, are meant to help a creditor get paid by a debtor. And so Texas has some really good creditor rights laws, but they also have some good homestead right laws. Hypothetically, you have 2 or 3 houses, you owe a big debt, and they took you to court. They got a judgment against you or a child support lien against you. Well, guess what? You shouldn't be able to benefit from those additional properties. So the creditor rights do exist. They could come after you. But for right now, we're going to talk specifically about child support liens. So essentially, a person falls behind and a lien is placed against him, and it's abstracted in the records, essentially the deed records. There's an abstracted judgment, essentially is what it's called. So how do you get them removed? Well, obviously know what they're for, but you're trying to resell a property now. You're trying to transfer a property. There are multiple ways to remove child support liens. We're going to start with the most obvious. Pay it off and get a release. Well, that's it. Get it paid off and you get a release. The second one is actually a release. Maybe you've already paid it off, but you never got it released. So you have to go back to the state and get them to sign a full release. There is another one. Don't do anything. Don't pay it off. It's your homestead. But of course you can't refinance it. You can't resell it. But truly, one of the options is do nothing. Which leads me to the statute of limitations. If you do nothing, Texas has very strong statute of limitations where you can get it removed, and then there you go. You just wait it out. Another way to get a child support lien released is to do what's called a partial release. So you go to the authorities that have placed that child support lien against you or the person, and basically you work something out. This is very strong, especially if it's up for foreclosure, and they're going to get squat. So in Texas, there's a seniority list of foreclosures. First, it's the taxing authority. Second is the mortgage. And third is every other instrument recorded in seniority. So if a child support lien is the fourth instrument, they try to foreclose on the property, they still have to pay the taxing authority, the mortgage, anything above them. So that kind of sucks. But when a mortgage foreclosure normally occurs, it wipes off everything below it, and even a taxing authority for not paying your property taxes wipes off everybody below it. So you need to get some leverage to get a partial release, but it's a very powerful instrument because what you're asking is, look, I'll give you a little bit of money. You know, they owe you $20,000. I'll give you $2,000 to do a partial release. You can still go after the debtor, but we're trying to do something positive here. Come foreclosure day, you get nothing. So it's a very, very strong technique to try to get the child support lien removed off the property. Another thing we can do to get a child support lien removed off the property is request that the authority who did place that child support lien against you to remove it because it is your homestead. Texas has a very strong homestead rights law, and in the Texas Property Code there's one of the codes in there that you can make a request of them, and they have 30 days to remove it. If they don't, on the 31st day you can file your own counter affidavit that you basically followed the whole law, and then it's a big thing. You got to show proof that it was done correctly. Now, some folks would argue that no, child support liens are excluded from that. I don't. I believe it applies to all judgments of all kind. There's no exception to it. So we're trying to do some legal stuff here in regards to deeds and in regards to child support liens. The big thing I want you guys to understand is this. You want to make sure when you're buying properties that the person you're dealing with has all the authority to transfer the property to you, potentially as an investor. So we always do, and we always encourage, a title search to see who has the rights to that property. And even when you're talking to a person, they claim to be the heir or something, it doesn't matter. It does not matter at the end of the day if they have no authority to transfer a deed to you. So we have to do a chain of title from the deceased to the heirs to you. It has to be as clear as can be what gave them the authority. And so we want a clear title, and that also includes removing all liens, including child support liens. There are ways to work these things out. You just have to get creative and be persistent. This way you have clear title. That's the big thing. Why is it so important to have clear title from the beginning? Because you're going to put a lot of money and time into this transaction, and then you're going to try to resell it. And down the road, some title company is going to do a title search. A lender will not lend money if there's no clear title. Get it done at the beginning, or just move on from the deal. I'm telling you, some of the best deals I've ever done are the ones I didn't do because the title was just so jacked up. On the other hand, some of the best deals I've ever done are the ones that are so jacked up because nobody wanted to deal with them. So as long as I've got cooperation from all parties and I'm consistent and persistent, I can get some amazing deals that have made me $40, $50, $60, $80,000 wholesale fees. So don't be afraid of these that are complicated. Just do a chart, figure out what needs to be fixed, and then get it fixed. And you don't always have to pay for everything until the closing when you're trying to buy them. So as long as you can make a written agreement with someone that, hey, I'm going to give you that $2,000, the $5,000 for the release at closing, please provide an invoice that if they pay you, you're going to sign off on the release. Do that, and you're on your way to making a lot of money in real estate investing. All right, folks, you know I like real estate investing. I've been doing it for almost 20 years, and I'm telling you, I love it, I love it, I love it. And here's why. All it takes is one deal to change your life, okay? There are more deals out there than you could ever imagine. They're everywhere. You can always count on people for doing dumb things. For example, dying without a will, divorcing, quitting their jobs, and so forth and so forth. Not maintaining the home is a big one. So there's always going to be deals because you can always count on people doing dumb things. That being said, you need to learn three things. Where are the right deals for you? How do you find the sellers and or the heirs? And how do you put a deal together? These are the main three topics, and within each one there's just so many variations of things to be concerned with. But I'm telling you, if you don't get the proper training, you're going to waste your time. There's only two ways to learn something: through lots and lots of mistakes or through a mentor. It's your choice. I want to get to the good stuff right away, so I'm encouraging you to consider our coaching program. We do 3 days of online videos. They're about 10 to 20 minutes each. There's a 100-page manual. After you watch the 30 videos and do the manual, then you come sit down with me and a group of folks for about 2 days. We're going to actually work on real deals with you. So I encourage you to consider our coaching program. One of the great lessons of my coaching program is that I'm going to teach you how to remove liens. Once you know what they are and that they're not a big thing sometimes, you'll make even more money. So we teach you that in our coaching program. You can find us at thevictormoss.com. You can also find us at SAREA.com. That's San Antonio Real Estate Investors Association.com. For short, it's just SAREA.com. If you have any questions, call us at 210-501-0897. Thank you very much. As always, thank you for watching. For more real estate investment and legal real estate content, please subscribe to our channel. Please follow me on social media, which you can find linked in the description below. Don't forget to visit thevictormoss.com, where you can register for coaching and my future events. To listen to the podcast, please search for The Victor Moss Real Estate Show wherever you listen to podcasts. Also, link below. Until next time, this is Victor Moss signing off. Take care.